Great Onion Growing Challenge Ailsae variety from Foster's Seeds. These onions were sown on the 1st of January. I had been hoping to plant them out or pot them up last week. Well, I was hoping that the weather would be good enough, and I was waiting on the weather to see whether this Scandinavian high came along or not, or whether we had a French high or whatever, or maybe even a Azores high or a Spanish high. So it's going to be remaining between about 0 and 5 Celsius down here in Kent for the next week or two. So I'm going to pot these up. Now, after 2 weeks, I did move them from one pot into this pot, and at that stage, the roots were down to here. And I was hoping that the roots would go all the way to the bottom, but they haven't. So I'm going to be potting them up. I'll be doing them into these, I call these tomato cups, because this is what I use, this is what I'd put my tomatoes in. So what I've had to do this morning was buy a drill, because what I normally do is I put 3 slits around the edge at the bottom. That's what I count as drainage. But now I'm going to move on to proper the 2-cup double cup method, where you have substantial holes in the bottom of the cup that the roots can grow out of, or they can access the water, and then you put 1 cup inside another cup to for the roots to grow in. You can collect the water or what you feed them with and put it back in. So we're using the double cup method. Compost we're using. No, we're not using this one. That's what I call Aldi Supermarket number 1. We're using the enriched one, which is Aldi Supermarket number 2. There is actually a premium one, which I call number 3. So this is just like fairly normal compost. I've added perlite, a dodgy item. A neighbour of mine, she asked me a couple of weeks ago whether I wanted any wood ash, and I said no, because I hadn't used up the previous lot. So that's like wood ash that's been kept outside, so it's like rainwater in it. So this ash is of doubtful provenance, because the bloke who makes it, he's got all these nails and whatever in it. So I'm just hoping any varnish or whatever that was on the wood has gone up in smoke. So I put a little bit of ash in, because onion's supposed to like wood ash. And then I've gone for everything, but I've tried to only have a little bit. So I've had a little bit of the grow more, a little bit of the fish blood and bone, and a little bit of the chicken manure pellets, with the belief that they'll get absorbed at different rates. And for watering, I've got a 10-litre container. So I've added 2 teaspoons of the soluble phosphorus fertiliser to that, and then 2 caps of this multi-purpose feed. I bought this at Poundland this morning for £2. So I put two capfuls of that, plus 2 teaspoons of the phosphate in there, and then I just transfer the water from that container, that watering can, into that watering can, and use that one. Right, that's my collection of pots which have been washed. I do have others which haven't been washed yet. So we'll go to the main event now, which is to see how much root development we've got on these. And then the second part of the main event is to see whether I can successfully split them up without removing their roots. Oh, I should say, using this is extremely dangerous, because you put a hole in there and your other hand's like still down there holding onto the cup. And because I've been putting these holes into cups of doubtful structural integrity, because I've already got slits around the edge, so that makes it more dangerous. And then also it's creating a lot of plastic waste, and after I drilled these cups I then had to go and rinse them out to get rid of the water, so I've now added to the microplastics in the water supply. Okay, so right, I've got a jug of lukewarm water, though it was at some stage, so that when I take the onions out I can temporarily store them in there. Yeah, so the onions aren't all that much, the roots aren't all that much bigger than they were before, so they're only going down that far. So, well, I suppose they may have grown another inch in the last 3 weeks. That one was on the edge, so that's only getting about 2 inches of root. Yeah, looks like a lot of these only have 2 inches of root. So maybe, hopefully they'll start growing now they've got their own individual pots, and oh, it's quite warm in here, and I'm giving them more feed than I have been in the past, because in the past they've only been getting the phosphorus, soluble phosphorus. Yeah, so these roots are quite pathetic, I think, after 5 weeks. So I was hoping that the competition, with them all being close together, would mean that the onions would go deeper for nutrition, but maybe the Asda supermarket number 2 was good enough for them. They didn't really need to go any deeper. And also to mention, I trimmed the onions last week. So that looks about the healthiest one, so we'll go with this one first and get the roots to straighten out. Yeah, so that's it. Well, I may as well add this back into the compost and mix it in. So I'll just do one of these, and then that'll be the end of the video. There's a possibility I might actually do these indoors rather than out here. Let's do this. I've only grown onion sets before. Right, that's the end of the video.